What's going on, everybody? This is Roster of the Burbank Misfits. And of course, I'm always joined with my wonderful, brilliant, spectacular, very athletic co host, CW.
Oh my God. Hi.
Why you saying like that? You saying like that, like, like it's a very, very bad opening.
Oh, you laid it on thicker than molasses.
But hey, it's true. You're the fit guy, and
Sure.
I'm just the guy that walks around and
Sure,
just
sure.
eats. But today we have a very, very, very special guest today. We have someone who's a content creator. She plays on Twitch. She does legal Legos. She is like professional astrologer, which is different. She has a degree in philosophy. She does a lot, and she's very fun. Her name is Tofu. How you doing, Tofu?
I'm doing good. How are y'all doing?
And,
Doing all right.
I'm a little tired because we spoke a little bit before you jumped on, and I think we woke up at the exact same time. And I think probably CW been up all morning because he's one of those morning people. Yeah,
One of those
Yeah.
morning people, huh?
yeah, one of those when the sun comes up, he's already awake. People, I can't do that. I need to be I need to be going to sleep when that's going on. So tell everybody like who are you? Like tell us about yourself. Who's Tofu?
I feel like, okay, I guess like, I don't know how to explain. I don't know where to start. I guess I will call this like the tofu lore. Um, I guess I'll just start with my content creation career because I think my content creation career is actually, I mean, now it's like 2023, so it's been about 8 years long. So I started creating content in 2016. So it's more like 7. But I was an astrology blogger on Tumblr. Now, if you guys like, I mean, I don't, it depends on what kind of like community or niche you're in, but like in 2015, like astrology memes were like all the rage. Personally, for me, I was kind of like, astrology seems really prevalent for something that's very dumb, because that's what I thought at the time. I was a skeptic. I was just like, why is this even here? And then I will say though, I was just kind of hiding like my interest. It's kind of like how closeted gays hate gay people, but then like they didn't know who they actually. Oh, that was like me. That was like me, but like with astrology. And I was just like, you know what? I'm going to research the subject before I actually hate it. And if I let's just see where it goes. If I hate it, then I was right. I was right the whole time. But if not, then at least I went into it. And fast forward to like 2020, I became an astrologer. I was part of the astrology community on Tumblr, and then I moved to Twitter, and I made a lot of blog posts. I do a lot of consultations for people. Usually people ask me, questions about themselves. Usually a lot of my clients are a little bit younger, so like college. I do have people over their 30s who ask for consults from me. I don't know why, because I'm like, I'm not very experienced, but hey, I'm flattered that you asked me. And during all that time, I got a degree in philosophy. I have a BA in philosophy. And I kind of used that degree in philosophy indirectly with my degree. And that was like my safer work timeline. Like that is the safer work lore of like tofu, right? And then we hit 2021, and there was a point in time where I was like, man, I gotta make rent. I had a controversy back in 2020, no, like the beginning of 2021, and I was struggling with my business. And I was like, okay, well, I'm gonna go ahead and, show my assets because prior
Literally.
yeah, I was like, yeah, I'm just gonna show my assets, right? So prior to this, I think in 2019, I was very curious and very like I guess experimental, and I was just like, what if I just posted nudes faceless because I care about my identity, quote unquote, at the time. I was like, ooh, what if I just posted nudes on Reddit just for fun? I want to see how hot I actually am, if I am. Like that's an assumption, right? So I posted it for fun. um I had a photo of me. I was faceless, I was nude, I was in the shower, and the caption was like, do you want to be my shower buddy? It blew up. It went to the front page of Reddit. And then I was like, fuck? And, like this is back when like Reddit was really good. And the sad part is that I had an ex at that time who was kind of nosy, and he and his friends like went on a witch hunt to see if that person was me. It was. And like we were friends on Facebook. So like he would go through my profile. I have a birthmark on my like tummy. He'd be like, this birthmark matches this birthmark on this nude that just blew up. And at that point I was just like, okay, I don't want to do this anymore. Like I'm not doing this naked stuff because like people are scary and they're stalking me. But then like by the time it's 2021, I was just like, well, Rhett's calling. I gotta answer. And I already I was like, I gotta answer the call. And like prior to all of this, I already had like knowledge with social media. Like I think around this time, like I had about like 40, I still have like 40K followers on my astrology Twitter. I kind of knew how social media worked. I was working as a social media organizer for like various astrology organizations. So I was just kind of like, okay, maybe I can like transfer what I know into being a whore, for fun. And then I started my OnlyFans on February 20th of 2021.
Almost 2 years.
And yeah, it's been 2 years. Yeah, it's almost been 2 years.
Yes. 8 days.
Yeah, actually, yeah. And then the rest is kind of history. Like I think that I did pretty well. I learned a lot about sex work and actually a lot about my sexuality too, which is very like enlightening. And nowadays I just go on Twitch, play League, cry about it, go on collabs, have a lot of fun with my fellow creators, and make bake. So that is my life.
I do want to hit on a few things real quick, like because I just find it interesting that you went from doing astrology to doing, content creating. Because like I don't know a lot about astrology, like besides, like the zodiacs, the Big Dipper, and I think it's called Cypress. Cypress? The North Star.
Oh, yeah.
It's something like that. But I know like people read the stars to like understand how can I say this word? Like the psychic story. Was it the psychic stuff you were focusing on when you did astrology, or was it just understanding people's love language or love and wisdom with the philosophy and stuff?
So this is kind of like a good but loaded question because I feel like astrology is kind of like the gateway to any sort of like spiritual practice. So like I was adjacent to like people who were like tarot readers. I also did tarot readings, but I specialize more in astrology. And astrological magic also is a thing. Like there's a whole community of people who use witchcraft and magic and astrology together. I don't know shit about magic though, so don't ask me. I might ruin you by accident. But usually what people came to me for was to know.
All I know is Leviosa. That's it.
Yeah. But like, yeah, people literally just came to me to kind of ask questions for themselves or ask for guidance. So like one of my two popular consultations is like the natal chart reading. I basically get your birth date, your birth city, and your birth time, and it creates a chart, and then I read that chart and I explain parts about you that you may not be able to put into words. It's a really good session to like understand yourself. But then for like my repeat clients, like I'm kind of like a doctor, you see me like yearly, right? People come to me to have a what is called a solar return consultation. It's kind of like a birthday consultation. So like in astrology, New Year's isn't really January 1st unless you're born on January 1st. It is the day of your birthday. So like when it's your birthday, it's a new year for you. There's a new story. And what I do for these clients is that I tell them like, hey, here's what's coming up. They'll ask me things like, oh, like, should I plan my wedding around this time? Or should I apply for school for this? Like, what should I do? Of course, I tell them at the end of the day, like, you can do whatever you want. I am literally just an astrologer. I'm not like an expert on other life things. I just see what's going on in the night sky and I tell you how to time things. But you don't have to listen to me. It's kind of like a good way to kind of give warnings or kind of give people like, hey, here's like a yearly heads up. And usually I have clients come back to me and they were like, I was kind of skeptical when you said that, like, I would move in with my siblings, but it happened. And I'm like,
Okay.
yeah, like you don't know where life is going to take you. So, and that's what I try to help people with, because like you're never gonna know what's life gonna do to you. And I kind of like, point them like, hey, here's what could happen. Um, I mean, I would like for you to take my word for it. You don't have to, but like, I mean, if I'm right, then it will happen.
Yeah.
Um, so that's kind of the type of work that I do.
Okay. Because I know, like, for what you just said, like, when you collect like the birthday and stuff like that, time and stuff, that's how you get, your what's it called, rising and what's the other one?
Your sun and your moon.
It's something because I know of course, I'm a Capricorn, with a Virgo rising, a Virgo moon, and it's another one too, and I'm a Capricorn in that. So I'm like just those two in general. And I think I just have too much Virgo energy. And it comes back to haunt me. I have no idea what that means, but every time I deal with a Virgo, it's like horrible.
Okay, so the thing that like I kind of want to emphasize, so here's the thing as an astrologer. Like the thing that my biggest pet peeve as an astrologer, not saying you do it, this is what actually girls do this more often, is that like I'll tell them I'm an astrologer and they're like, oh my God, I hate all Virgos, or oh my God, I hate Geminis. They're the absolute worst. Like I meet them and like it never works out. Also, just so you know, um, I mean, you're not just a Capricorn sun, Virgo moon, Virgo rising. Um, you have your moon in the first house, like me. Um, but like you have no idea what that means, but like, but like there's some things that I could like kind of read from that point. But like you actually like I don't know how to like maybe I could like send it to you later, but like there's like a whole circular chart. Like you're a Capricorn sun, right? So you could have like a Venus in Pisces or Aquarius or a Capricorn, or like so like you can have like there's like 10 planets in astrology. And you all have different signs in each one. So like at the end of the day, like every person is so unique. Like every time I look at a chart, it's never the same. Unless you're twins, but um but even twins are different too.
It's interesting. Like I said, like as sorry, like I have no idea how any of that works. I just know those little tidbits, and I always just find it like interesting when people like explain like the stars in general and stuff like that, and I'm like, okay, like it's interesting, but it's not in my comprehension.
That dude, that's totally understandable because like whenever I start speaking in like my astrologer speak, my loved ones look at me and they're like, "Can you stop? I don't know what you're talking about. You not?" And I'm like, fine, I'll like translate it. Like I have to like a lot of my job is translating like what I see into like human language. So like for example, like with your chart, you're a Virgo rising with moon in the first house, right? So like you have your moon in the first house, which is what I also have too.
Mhm.
And like people with a moon in the first house, without knowing any other context about you, people with moon in the first house, they tend to have like whether they like it or not, they tend to have a presence that people think are either very comforting or very nurturing because the moon represents nurturing and emotions. For me personally, I do not have a poker face. I will never play poker because, if I lie, it's all over my face. So, like, the first house is the house of appearances, how you physically look like. So, when you have your emotions in that house, your emotions are literally, quite literally, on your appearance. Um, and this can soften your features. So like for me, I have a very soft jawline. Um, it can make you appear to be very approachable. I will say though, you have a Virgo moon though, so like you're kind of like logistically comforting. Like people will come up to you and ask you for like questions where it's like, oh hey, can you do this for me? Because like Virgo moons are very analytical. I have a Virgo moon brother. No offense. Y'all are very like y'all are sensitive and that's like totally okay, but like like external things really bother you. So like if I was talking to you right now and I had something in my teeth, you'd be like, there's something in your teeth. Or like if you're talking to somebody and their fly's open, you're like, hey, your fly's open. Like you can't like unsee things. That's like the Virgo moon curse. Like you see things and you're like, I can point it out, but like if I do, I sound like a jerk. And your moon in the first house though, so it's not like you can hide like that like detection. So like if someone looks like ash trash or there's like a disaster going on, you can't hide that feeling of horror on your face. That's what like I get from like having a Virgo moon in the first house. Why are you laughing?
CW. Does that sound like me?
Yeah. Like you just see why did you have to point that out? I don't know. Sometimes like you could just not say it, bro.
All of it.
It's
Everybody,
a little
She
painful.
or
but-
they.
no, even from like, what you say, like everybody come to me and like I'm comforting, and everybody come to me just to say, yeah, let's go to Ross and just chill.
Mm, mm, you're comforting in the way she said, like
Yeah, that's what I said.
comforting in like I'll help you do something, but you're not.
Yeah. So yeah,
Automatically just make you feel better.
yeah, but I think he basically just described me to the T, and that is kind of scary. But but it's no, because like the thing is like y'all are like we play me and her have played League of Legends together like a few times, but we haven't had an in-depth conversation. And she basically described me to T. And that's why I'm laughing. Because I just found that so like interesting, hilarious, and like wow. That's
Yeah.
yeah.
And I pretty much do this for my clients for like an hour and a half straight.
Wow. Like honestly, like I'm amazed that was just like 5 minutes of just talking about that.
I don't even know
So
your whole chart yet. So like it's I mean, I think if I saw your whole chart, I would have to kind of adjust things for context. Just because like, what I gave was actually a general description. Like it does describe you to a T, but like there's so much more context that I haven't shared yet because I don't even know your chart.
yeah, so like I just that is really interesting. And like you still do this now though, right? Because that's your whatever, or do you just do content now?
So I do just content for now, but I was thinking either this year or next year. I was thinking about opening my bookings again, but like specifically do readings for adult performers or influencers or content creators. Mainly because like the creator content, like the creator lifestyle is very like kind of all over the place. And I feel like people who kind of live all over the place kind of need some like guidance on knowing when to do this or that. So like I do want to open up my bookings again just because I kind of miss it. I miss reading people to filth.
I think a lot of people who are in the industry, because I know a few people who like, go to people like yourself to try to understand everything. And if you open it up just for, well, genuinely for creators or porn stars or people who do it mainstream, whatever, that you can do really well because a lot of people are interested in, expanding their knowledge on doing that. So yeah, that I think that is a good idea, especially since you have the background in it and people already know, you're not, BSing them. Like, I actually know what the F I'm talking about.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
And I mean, I actually weirdly enough, the spiritual person to like porn star pipeline is actually not that uncommon. There's actually a very strong like crossover between the two. Mainly because both like making porn and doing like the occult, they're both taboos. So like at least for certain people like me, where like I'm doing all of the taboos, I'm kind of like, you know what? I got one taboo down the belt. I'm just gonna try all of them. All the ones that are legal at least. But Yeah, that pipeline is actually quite common. I actually know a lot of astrologers or like witches that are also into sex work if they're not strongly supporting it. Like if they're not like strongly supporting it, they are sex workers themselves.
I believe that it just means that they're a lot more open with all forms of their personal sexuality as far as what they are willing to do or like express openly, publicly, or privately, depending on who the person is. Because like I believe the more you are able to accept yourself, the more you're open to, experiment with different things. And that's always one big issue that people aren't willing to like say, this is who I am. Let me express myself to you rather than, saying, I want to do this, but I don't know. Even though it interests me a little bit, I'm not sure if I should speak about it or not.
Mm, yeah, for sure. I feel like a lot of the people that um I do astrology for, they're already pretty like open-minded themselves. Because like first of all, in order to get an astrology reading, to an extent, you have to believe in astrology, which is already kind of like a misleading like term in its own way, because like it's not like you believe in astrology, it's more like you kind of work with it, but like that's only something that like people would understand if they practiced it. Um, so yeah, I definitely agree.
But I do want to hit a few things real quick. So I know you just did I do want to hit up in your creation a little bit. So what do you feel is the biggest thing that you want to look forward to in your create content creation side of what you're doing, since that's what you do mainly right now?
So like, are you asking like what my goal is?
Yeah, what your goals? Yeah.
So my biggest goal for sure this year is to reach 10,000 followers on Twitch before the end of the year. I do not know how ambitious that is. I'm like 11% of the way there at February. So like I'm trying to research Twitch in itself because like I don't know Twitch as well as like other platforms like TikTok or Instagram. I think my other big goal in terms of being a creator is rebranding my astrology business specifically for sex workers. Um, and I mean, that's probably the biggest thing. I mean, like in terms of like my big goal, I kind of just want to cosplay.
What do you want to cosplay as a person who loves anime? What do you want to cosplay as?
So cosplaying has taught me a few things. So I started cosplaying last year. Um, I want to be ambitious. I want to like look exactly like the character. Like I'm like a picky cosplayer. In terms of shows, I mean, I am going to KatsuCon, which is actually this week. I'm going to cosplay as Misato from Neon Genesis Evangelion. It's not Rei or Asuka. It's that one girl with the gun. Um, and then I will also do Spirit Blossom Ari from League of Legends. I am actually do a photo shoot with that one. Yeah, I'm super excited. Um, and then I also do Byleth from Fire Emblem Three Houses. As you can see, they're mostly video game characters because I like video game cosplays more than anime cosplays because I play video games so much more. And then lastly, I think on my last day, I'm going to be Futaba from Persona 5.
I know two of those characters.
Okay, you know half.
No,
That's good.
because like I've heard of I've seen like parts of Neon, but I've never actually watched Neon, whatever. And of course, I play League of Legends like a little bit too much. Like I believe I have a addiction. I believe I need to go to AA for it. But but yeah, like what got you into doing cosplay then?
Oh, what got me into it?
Hmm.
Honestly, ever since I was young, I always look at cosplayers and I would be like, how did they do that? And then like as I grew up, I was like, I want to know how they did what they did. So like personally, I really like cosplayers like Emiru. Emiru is a really good cosplayer. Like I look at her makeup and I'm like, how? Wow. And then I also like Miss Bree Solo. She's like a really popular TikToker and cosplayer. And Tarn cosplay. He's hot. He's also a very good cosplayer. He makes his own cosplays, which is impressive. Um, for me, I got into cosplay because it's kind of like an aesthetic challenge. This is also a reason why I'm into OnlyFans. I feel like to be on OnlyFans or to be a cosplayer, you're constantly challenging your aesthetic. You're trying to, for cosplay at least, you're trying to capture the essence of a character. That is something that I find a lot of joy doing. Like, for example, like I cosplay like Officer Jenny, right? I would like look at reference pictures of Officer Jenny and be like, how do I exactly capture you onto my face? And am I gonna do it right? Like the act of like, changing my appearance as like a challenge is really fun. Um, Also I'm just really vain. I like taking pictures of myself and I'm like, you know what? Might as well challenge myself to the next level by wearing cosplays because wearing cosplays can be quite uncomfortable. So I just think that cosplaying is a fun challenge.
I know I've seen a few cosplays, and people have posted on like their TikToks or whatever they use, and they show like how much time and effort and money that they put into it to try to emulate the person they're dressing as. And like one, I believe that I would fall short on, trying to put the time into it and trying to copy like the look because and then some of them they come out of it and it just looks like amazing. Like I remember I went to it's one in Florida, Florida Con that I went to. It's in Miami, Florida, and like I seen some of the cosplays there, and I was like, Jesus, like I really want to know like how long and what the amount of effort they put inside. Because someone came, for example, since you know League of Legends, someone came there, and this is when DJ Sona was just coming out, so this is a while ago, and like they were in a full DJ Sona outfit with the entire keyboard and everything, and it was like that is good. Like it looks so dang amazing, and I was mad. Like they did a cosplay competition that night, and I was mad they didn't win because it was so darn good, and I was pissed off. I was pissed off for them, and yeah, and that's amazing. That's amazing.
Yeah, and honestly, like I cosplay, but I don't make my cosplays. I buy them. It's quite look, I failed to thread a sewing machine back in like Skills for Living when I was in school. So like I am never going to use a sewing machine. I don't trust myself. I don't think anyone should trust me. But yeah, like people show the process of how they make cosplays. It's not even just the clothing that's impressive. Like the props are something else. Like I have a friend who makes cosplay props and like they use like 3D printers, they use paper mache, and like it looks really good. And I'm just like, I don't know how your brain goes from, ooh, picture of a prop to like knowing which materials to use, knowing how to put it all together, and then making it like practical. Because like I will say, like, I don't know like how the Sona person that you were talking about was like using it's called the Etoile, by the way. I know my League of Legends lore. It's called the Etoile. Um, um, sorry, I used the main Sona. And because like I would imagine that it was a good cosplay, but like I think my first thought was like, how did they carry it? Like, was it around their neck or like?
They had it like they had everything coming like from their chest, but then it went out from their waist, so it can like hold it on their shoulder.
Oh, yeah, because like I feel like another hard thing about cosplays is like making sure that your cosplay is put together at all times versus and especially holding your props. Like most of the time if I go to a con, if I have a prop like a weapon or something, I just have a carrier. Like I have
One thing
someone to
I
carry
one thing I
everything
hate
for me.
about that though is they like some people would take your prop, not they say you can't put that weapons, and they just like die. I'm sorry. They say that's a little bit too close to a weapon, and they take it at the door. And yeah, I was trying to show you this.
Oh,
Can you
that
read what it
looks
says?
cool. I cannot read what
It
it says.
says Riot Researcher.
Wow.
Yeah,
Goddamn.
yeah. Go
Okay,
ahead. I'm sorry.
you got credentials.
Well,
Yeah.
like I just tried a few. They had me test a few skins and a few other things before.
Oh, that's super
Yeah.
cool. Oh my God. Actually, um, wait. First of all, how do you get chosen for something like that? That sounds cool. If you don't
Honestly,
mind me asking.
honestly, the first time, they contacted me, and then they sent me a thing to fill out for to do it, and then after that, like they kept calling me back, to do different things. Like the very first time, they wanted me to try out. I can say this. They wanted me to try out a Heimerdinger skin. So I was trying out the Dragon Slayer Heimerdinger. That was the very first one they called me out for. And then they actually hit me up to come back and they wanted me to try Deep Sea Nami, but I was out of town. I couldn't come do it. And I'm more so of a Nami main in general. But I was so sad. I was so sad I couldn't come in and do Nami. And then they had me come do a different skin, which I can't say. And then they had me come in and try a game out, which I can't say either. But so it was other things that I was not allowed to talk about because India, I can't say it until they say you can talk about it now, and they haven't said I can talk about it now. But those two were like, oh my god, I had a lot of fun doing both of those, and all three of them, and I was like. But no, you just fill out the information. But you think is if you live in LA, it's a lot easier because they have you go to either to their studio, which is in LA, or they have a different facility because I did two things at this other facility that's near the Riot Studios. And you go there and you just play the game. You just literally just they have you literally just sit there and just say play and tell us what you think of the skin. And that's it. You just tell them if you like it or not.
Wow. Okay,
And
honestly, that Heimerdinger
or
skin
tell
is
them what you think. They just change about the splash art.
Mhm.
And I know a lot of people did not like some of the stuff that was on the original because they changed it. The original Heimerdinger splash art for the dragon one. A lot of people had an issue with something that was on there, and they didn't release it, so that you can't see what the original splash art was. But they had us say what we didn't like about it, and I know the people who were around me had the same issues with the splash art.
Okay, I love that Heimerdinger skin, unironically. I think it's one of the coolest like Heimerdinger skins. Like it's really creative. Honestly, I'm kind of jealous that you went to test it out. That is so cool.
Yeah, that was the very first one, and like, and so now I just make sure like the emails go to the email that I use for my league account, which is not my main email. So I go on there like off and on to make sure I'm not getting an email saying, "Hey, come in and try this." But I know they space it out like every like 6, 7 months, whatever, and just so you can like it's not you coming in constantly trying out the same game and over and over again. And what's crazy is like some of the people who were there don't even play the main game anymore. They just have a lot of hours built up on a certain character. Like the people who were playing Heimerdinger, who was at the first one of them in particular only plays TFT now. They don't play main game anymore. But they they have like I have a lot of hours on Heimerdinger and Nami. It's sad. Those were my main two. And
Look, those are two good champs to choose. I don't blame you.
like my literal emotes on Twitch, I have a Heimerdinger and a Nami emote. Like it was required.
That's amazing.
So, but yeah, like also I think I spent way too much money on League though. Like I believe like I've told you how many skins I have, and that's just sad.
Look, every game that you play is just going to look glamorous.
It's
Like you're not gonna ever don like, the original like,
original skin?
skin.
No.
Yeah. So like, no. And honestly, for me personally, I used to feel bad about buying skins too, but then like I'm just kind of like, this gives me so much joy every time I play League. And like when you play something like League, you need something to give you joy and continuation with the game. So like buying the skin is totally worth it.
Yeah, but the fact that I spent over 3K probably is an issue on a free game.
I
Yeah.
mean, I think, hey, I think I'm not that far behind. So like that makes two of us. Like we can cry together, dude.
So yeah. That's why I said you probably need AA for my league play. But to actually go back to your actually OnlyFans stuff, since we do need to, talk about, to, give people to come watch you. What is upcoming for the stuff you have upcoming on that's new and exciting for, people who have not had the opportunity to see your face yet?
So I have some things coming up. So like every few months or so, I have a collab with my girls. I am going to KatsuCon like this week. So I might be doing something not safe for work with one of my cosplays. I'm not sure which one. It's probably gonna be Ari. Like Ari's gonna be. I just have to think about the logistics because like Spirit Blossom Ari has like some big ass tails and that takes a lot of maneuvering if I'm gonna do some sexy things in it. Um,
I mean,
also.
depending on like if you have another tail where you can put the other tail, can work too?
Oh yeah, that's true. Thank you. Thank you for the tip. Also I'm now offering GFE. It's girlfriend experience. Personally for me, I like GFEs more than like customs, for example, because like I like to text. I mean, hopefully I am interesting to like, offer the experience because first of all, never shut up. That's why I'm on here. And I like to send photos and like be a little cheeky. I like being a girlfriend. Like
Mhm.
I like giving that experience. So I'm offering that right now. And also look, one of my most popular content is me with a black male creator. Those are always very lit. I think that's probably the main reason people go onto my OnlyFans. But there's usually I usually post a lot of GGs, orgies. Orgies are fun. I love orgies, they're so fun. And then the occasional BG if I meet a male creator, which I want to do more this year.
Are you like I'm not gonna doss you, but you're not in my vicinity. Do you plan on coming to like the main area of where people say it's the house area of where everybody is, like in LA, since you're not in LA? I'm not gonna tell you where you're at, but
Um, I want to go. I have a lot of DMs from many creators being like, "Hey, you want to work together?" And I'm like, yeah, I just need to plan and travel and fly and Uber and all that stuff. I would, I mean, I would probably not live there, but I would probably definitely travel a lot for work just because like LA's lit. Like I love Wi Spa. Like I went to LA back in December. I went to that Korean spa almost every day.
okay. I've never been there.
You should go.
Yeah, I've never heard of it. I've
Do you know
I've
what a
been
Korean spa is?
it's just a spa
Okay,
and
okay, it's a different kind of spa. They're not like other girls. It's a different kind of spa.
I mean like you need to pick who massages you, right? Or I don't know how this works.
So you go into the spa, they give you a key, they give you like a little spa outfit to wear. It's usually the baths are separated by gender and you have to be completely naked. You go in, you take a shower because you shower before you go into the baths because so that it stays clean. There's usually like a nice hot tub that you get to bathe in, and then like a cold pool. And then there's like a hot sauna and a dry sauna. So like that's like for your gender only. But if you have like if you go with like a lady friend, for example, y'all can like, wear the designated spa outfit they give you, and you can sit in like different saunas. Like there's like a clay sauna, a salt sauna, or like this really, really hot sauna. I forgot what it's called. It starts with a B. It's like 200 degrees in there. And you just sit in there and sweat your life out. And like there's like Korean food that you can eat over there too. Like a lot of like old Korean people go there and they spend the night because it's open 24 hours.
I'm gonna say this, and I don't know. Hopefully, it doesn't sound
I
weird.
like that.
It sounds like one of the animes I watch, and they is that is like kind of like that. It's like how everybody's in the same water.
Yeah, it's similar to an
Okay.
onsen. If they're not the same, they're very similar.
Okay. I'm just like because everything you're saying reminds me of animes I've watched, and I've seen something like that, and that's the only basis I can think of.
Yeah,
Okay.
it's really nice.
Well, I would say this, like, if you have the opportunity to come out here and like I would say if people are asking you, you should just make a week out of it and have something, at least 3 things scheduled for a week. So you can get a rest day in between. And you just, get a lot out, depending on who they are. And if people are asking you to come out, you shouldn't be the one paying for it. But that's just my viewpoint. If they're begging and asking you, you shouldn't put or at least front the full bill.
You know what? That thought
Never crossed
never
your
occurred. It never
mind.
crossed my mind. That never crossed my mind. Ever. Oh my God. Oh, but like, oh, that's so scary. I guess like because I'm a woman, a lot of these people who do reach out are men, and
Yeah,
like, I guess like, okay, first of all, that never crosses my mind because like, first of all, I'm scared of rejection. So if I say something like, "Oh, you're gonna have to pay for my flight and like my room and like blah blah blah,"
well,
like I'm,
even if they front like I want to say this, and this
mm,
is the most important thing people don't realize
mm.
is that you are the female side of this, and the thing is 80% of the people who are consuming boy girl stuff, more than like I won't say that high, but at least 70 to 80% are looking for the female side. And when you look at any type of male performer in any type of genre that or to that in any straight porn genre, many people do not even know the male's name.
Oh,
Like if you think about it, think about like you've of course watched porn. Think about how many porn you watch that has boy girl, and think about how many of those dudes' names that you actually know. Or you can just say, I know that face.
I mean, that sounds like good advice, Raw. I would say this. I think you forgetting a certain aspect of this industry. So, like, let's say you came here for a trip and you had somebody pay that for that first trip, while you're kind of new to like boy girl content or whatever. I think you are forgetting the person that's gonna be like, hey, I paid for this content. I paid for this. Like, there can be kind of funniness when people are coming from wherever they're coming from,
I agree.
especially if they feel like the person coming is like new or naive. So
I
I
mean,
don't
no.
I understand, like, hey, pay
regardless,
to play, but
regardless, he has to be safe
if you
about it.
say
I
we're
agree.
collabing, then you can just be like, nah, I'm not down with this. I'm out. And there's no kind of like leverage of like, hey, but I paid.
I mean, I agree that like she should be safe about it. Like, get a full layout of what's going on and what's happening, whatever. Because like, but the thing is, it's like most of the people who are doing content, whatever, they are using that person's name because like let's say for example if I started doing did a scene today whatever and I did it with blah 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 has a lot more followers or is a lot more known and people will say yes, I just did a scene with blah blah, and we was like, oh, you might be someone on the up and up, whatever, and I want to see blah blah. And if you're working with her, let me check you out because I love blah blah, you know?
No, I get what you're
That's all I'm
saying,
saying.
but I don't see how that changes what I just said.
No, I was saying I agree with you. I agree with you,
Oh,
but I was just saying like at the end of the day, like they're coming to see more so the person who has more the girl if they
no,
were.
that's totally true.
That's all.
That's true.
That's all I was saying. It's just like they're the highlight. Like no matter what, and even for the people who are known that are males, the dude will say, "I'm working with blah blah," and they'll see the girl they're working with, and regardless, they want to see the new girl, whatever,
No, yeah, the
because
female stars
it's like a stamp of approval,
is always the draw.
you know. And that's all I was telling you. Like some people would literally like either pay half of it or help you come out here, and then while you're out here, you can't, of course, do your thing with them, whatever. But then also like try to like set up stuff, whatever, because you can say like, yeah, Tofu, I'll be in LA for 5 days. Hit me up if you whatever. And yeah, make like just like you just did a day trip with your homegirls, and y'all did whatever out there. It's just like that. Like you can set up a lot of things and get things going,
You know
Or
what? That explains it.
you can also ask like those same girls like who can I trust out here,
Oh yeah, that's for sure. I think like the reason why I don't even like entertain the idea that I get paid is because a lot of my collabs are with other female creators, and usually when we pay for like the Airbnb or like we pay for like trips or stuff, it's all from our own pocket, and we usually all split it. So like with female creators, we all like if it's like all like GG or something, we all split it. Um, because I think I've only like truly collabed with like two male creators so far. And one of those male creators has a female creator partner. So like I actually only collabed with like one male creator that didn't have like a partner, which
Yeah.
was a really nice experience. Oh, I've never considered it. I mean, I'll try it because like that makes me more enticed to do collabs because like it is expensive to travel out and then plan. Also, for me personally, when it comes to BGs, I have to like personally be careful with like how you know this part works because I do tend to like I tend to bleed a lot easier than like other creators. So I have to be like I have
Careful.
to I have to make sure that like I'm not going to suffer.
Well, with that, you just got to explain to them before you, because I know a lot of the times before you do certain things, like you're on camera saying this and that, whatever, or you get it written beforehand. This is what, like, a full layout. Because I know sometimes when it's just girl, whatever, it's a lot easier because you know each other's, because you're both females, you know each other's bodies a lot better. And you probably can, sense it more than some other, someone who's not categorized that at birth, whatever, can, what I'm trying to say.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I
that
know what you're trying to say.
you get me. So yeah, but yeah, that's just the hardest part. But then like once you're out here in general, even if they just help you with the expenses, because like that's airfare, hotel fare, and then you can handle your own transportation once you're out here, depending on like what you're doing. And then even if like for example, you know someone who has to come here anyway, like y'all can stay together so y'all can feel like some type of security, especially since you don't live here. And I know sometimes that worries a lot of people because they don't live here, and they might know someone here, but they might not, and that person might be busy. And it's always like, the whole safety issue, because that's always a big thing, because you got to be safe out here because people are crazy. So especially if they're not mainstream, and some of those link people are just as bad. So
Oh yeah, like usually when before I even like consider working with someone, I think for the person that I did collab with, I was like, okay, you need like 3 references from like 3 other female creators that can vouch for you. And like I like to like this is for all creators by the way. I like to test their promptness. Like if I ask them for something like, "Oh, do you have your test?" or "Oh, like do you have a plan?" Like I like to see how I guess put together they are, and it kind of helps me give a gauge on like what they can contribute. Because personally for me, I think I'm like averagely prompt, and like that is something that I would like to expect from other creators, especially if they reached out to me, because it's like, hey, if you're the one reaching out to me and like you're the one that wants to see me, like I hope you have a good plan for it so that we both don't waste our times.
mhm.
And like, since I'm I guess a woman that likes to do all the work, like if someone's not prompt, I usually tend to do all the work because I try to like because I care about what I put out. Um, so like, but at the same time, like if you don't put out your lot, then there's not going to be a next time. But
Yeah,
nice
because
working
it's
with you.
like the way you just said, people aren't prompt, or they just are putting out there like they want to do content. Because it just sounds like some people just want to have sex.
Yes, and like personally for me, um, my unless like it's someone I'm very close with, whenever I do sex work, like it is purely for work. Like no like, no like lovey-dovey or like intimate things, like not even horniness, because like I think I'm actually more on the asexual spectrum than like people would expect. They're like, oh, but you're a whore. And I'm like, asterisk. There's an asterisk to that.
Mhm. Like,
So
I think we were having that little conversation on Twitter the other day, because you were trying to identify like where would you actually fall into that category. Because like I think because I've been around this industry so long, like a lot of the stuff has basically desensitized me from a lot of things, because like it does nothing for me unless I'm actually about to do something. So it just like my whole love before I started doing any like photography, like whatever I do in this industry, before I did like all that, from now it's like apples and oranges. Because like, yeah, the whole aesthetic of my brain power going into anything with any type of nudity is just like, okay, it's just work. Let me take this picture or record
yeah,
this scene.
yeah,
I know what looks good, or let me edit this scene. Okay, done. Edit, and it does nothing.
yeah. Actually, I think one of the best things about me personally, whenever I did OnlyFans, was actually discovering my sexuality. Because when I went into it, like starting out, I was like, I'm straight.
The face you just made.
Stupidest like lie of my life. Because I started making, and then I look, I thought that I was straight, monogamous. Um, I think I knew I was demisexual around that time, but like, I didn't really share that often with people because they're like, "What the fuck is that?" So I'm like, I'm not gonna talk about it. But um, but like as time went on, and especially when I started working with like female creators, I was like, I'm fruity. I'm fruity. And like and honestly, actually, I think nowadays I actually enjoy GGs more than BGs. I mean, look, I like all sorts of things. Like I like I will feel good everywhere. But like I started to enjoy GGs a lot more just because like girls are just hot, man. I mean, oh, I will say though, they're intimidating as hell. Like, so I think as of now, I think you said like I was like maybe pan or
I think I said I
polysexual.
said I said like it sounds like pansexuality or polysexual that you can
Yeah.
probably fit in, because pan basically just means like you don't care what they are or
Hmm.
identify as. I'm trying to say this completely correct. how you don't care what they identify as. You just love, a human. You're attracted to, the human rather than just what they have down there.
Yes. I actually, yeah, I actually don't give a shit about at all about what's down there. Because honestly, like actually, I was talking to someone about furries the other day, and they were like, "Do you like furries?" And I was like, If I like a furry, it's not because they're a furry specifically, but like if they're hot, then they're hot."
I never understand. Like, I don't know anybody that says that they are a furry. So I don't know anything in that. I mean, I don't know anybody in that world. So I've never understood it.
Like gazed very, very faintly. I don't know much either, but I think the main thing that like I think furries would very much appreciate is that I think a lot of people think that like furries are into like bestiality or like the weird things with the animals. No, they're just normal people. And I'm like, I mean, and it's not supposed to be like a weird, like novel thing to say, but like a lot of them are not as cringe as like the media makes them out to be. And like I kind of understand it. Like certain like animal characters from media, for example, like who's that guy? Like Scar from The Lion King.
Mhm.
Like yeah, he's a good looking animal. Also Scar from actually some girls really like Scar from Finding Nemo. I mean, he's a fish. I mean, I'm not judging. There's that one girl from Shark Tale who is hot as fuck, but like, you know, it's not so. I mean, like, I guess like my position is like, who am I to judge?
I
You
mean, at
know?
this point, I don't judge anybody for what they do anymore because, like,
Hmm.
it makes no sense to me anymore because, like, let people love who they want to love, and but the thing is like, it's just for me. I just say I don't know anybody, or I just don't understand it. But do you?
Yeah. And
So
honestly, sometimes that's all you gotta do. You just let them by, you pass by, do their thing, you do your thing, and it's all good.
yeah, but that jumps into all the kinks and stuff also, and yeah, and that's a whole different line of craziness.
Oh yeah, there's a lot of nuance in that conversation, like a lot of nuance.
Like, have you ever took that test where you could see like all your like what they say you are this percent?
Oh, is it the BDSM test?
Yeah.
I I think I took that like multiple times. Um, I am what? Okay, I have a theory. It's been true so far. I have a theory that most Asian women, I think we're all brats. Most of us. We're all brats and subs. Now, for me, I think I definitely am in that bratty category. Because I'm a bitch. But um, I think I was also like a switch. I'm trying to get into my switch era. I mean, the reason why I wouldn't say I'm Dom is because I feel like being a Dom takes so much work.
Yeah.
I'm
I
like,
agree.
I'm like, you don't just sit there and do nothing? What? I also sound like a pillow princess, but like, I'm like, you do things? You have to think? So, um, actually, let me look at my results. It's like 10 million screenshots ago, but if I remember correctly, I am pretty sure like 94% was brat.
I just looked at mine just now because I had it on my desktop. I haven't did it since 2021. Well, December 2021, and like I had two of them that was 100%, and I'm like, that just says something about about me because they're 100%. Like misogynist was 100%, and so was Rope Bunny.
Oh, wow. Interesting. Oh, yeah. So, oh, actually, okay, I have my updated results. It was taken on 2022 on January 17th. Very specific. Um, I am 100% a degradee and 100% a brat.
And my degradee was 89%.
Yeah, I just love. I don't know. I just like tension in my affairs. Like I mean, and like in some ways I'm like vanilla, but it's because I'm lazy. Like I don't want to think. But like when I do want to think, um, and I do those certain things, like just kissing and being lovey is not enough. Like I like to tease people whenever I do things. Like let's just say that like, someone slaps my ass, okay? And they're like, "Oh yeah, is that hot?" Like I'll say something like, "Was that it?" And they're like, and I'm like, "I'm teasing, I'm teasing, I'm teasing. I want you to slap me harder.
Yeah.
I'm trying to
Trying to like get
manipulate
you on
you."
like do it again. Harder.
I'm like, "Do it again. Harder.
Harder.
You
Harder.
suck.
Harder.
You suck."
Harder.
Yeah.
You
Like you suck.
little
You
B
really
word.
suck. Like you really suck. Wink.
Oh golly.
Yeah, but that's my theory. I think a lot of Asian girls are like brats because we were all told to like follow the rules growing up,
I can see that.
and
But
then we
and
we,
I'm
we
and
go
I'm not
crazy.
trying to be stereotypical, but like a lot of people of your culture like are have a lot stricter rules growing up than some people of others. So yeah, I can see that.
Oh yeah, and and also like when we're able to be brats, it's like you have the liberation of being inconvenient and annoying. You get to be annoying and inconvenient for free. Like that sounds very fun because
And then people pay you for
yes, like I
it.
want to be paid because like growing up, like, since I talk a lot, since I'm bubbly, a lot of people used to think growing up that I was like really annoying and that I'm too bubbly, I'm too out there. But like, and then like how that translates to the bedroom is like, oh my God, I could be annoying now. Or intimate.
Mhm.
I have all the rings now. I could be as annoying as I want and you'll somehow find me hot. So like it's great.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, a lot of people love that too. That's why people love the GFE or the JOIs or the SDHs. So hopefully you understand what all these acronyms mean.
Okay,
You
so I
just
know
gave me a look.
JOY. I know JOY, so I call them joys. I
A
don't know. And
jack off instruction and
yeah, I
small
know
dick
joys.
accumulation.
Oh, I actually love doing those. I kind of wish that more of my fans would be into it. I mean, I do a lot of joys because like they do like joys, but they kind of want me to be a joy from like a Dom perspective. I mean, I can play the Dom better than I don't know, like my colleagues think I perform well. I just perform. And then but like SDH, like I want to do more of that. Like I love being mean for fun because like it's not even like I'm like actually mean. It's like a playful kind of mean. Like, because like how some girls they'll be like, "Oh my God, you're so pathetic. Your dick is tiny. I have to use a microscope to look at it." Like for me, I'd be like, "Oh my God, it's so small. It looks like the sausage I ate this morning." Like it's a little more
Intense.
childish.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Like I know the first, like, because people have me edit crap all the time. The first one that I edited of that for somebody, I had never heard of it at that time.
Mm.
This is like 2017, and it caught me off guard. And at the time, I was like, "Who's into this?" It didn't. I started seeing it pop up everywhere, and I'm like, you know, I get it, but if I wasn't, if I wasn't well endowed, like I would feel bad if someone was just like, "Oh,
So small, so
that's
cute.
cute, that's cute."
just, just slip that in there.
Is that a pinky? Is that a vanilla sausage? Oh, no, no. What's those other little other
Wasn't
little
holding a hog.
what's those other little sausages where it's like those little tiny weenie
Vienna sausages?
no, like they're smaller than that. They're little tiny sausages. They give like at cocktail parties and stuff, and they're a little tinier. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
You know, but yeah, so
I
I was
actually I actually did a Skype call with somebody and they're like, for a straight hour, I want you to humiliate my tiny dick. And I'm like, are you sure? They're like, yes, like I have a whole script for you. I want you to say certain things. And like he was so happy. And it was an Asian guy too. And like he'll say
little
things like, oh,
smokies.
like he like whenever I did the call with him, he was like, I want you to say things like, oh yeah, I glowed up and now I'm super hot, but you can't have me because you bullied me. Your dick is so tiny. I like other dicks instead. And I'm like, oh my god, this is so deep rooted. But like, I mean, you do you. I mean, it was fun because what girl doesn't love the glow up story? Okay, like I love the glow up story. I was like, oh my god, I would love to act like the mean glow up girl. That is my dream.
Oh my God.
Yeah, I know. Actually, I've had some very strange requests. Like every time I go and like collab with my colleagues, I always ask him like, "What's the weirdest thing you've ever done?" It never fails to surprise me. It's all so weird. I mean, it's very fun, but I'm also just like, oh my god.
I always bring up like my very first convention. This is way back in 2010, and
Mm.
I was working at a convention. I was helping someone sell DVDs because we were also promoting the Urban X Awards. So I'm standing there by myself, and then someone walked up to me, and what they asked me if I had was the most weirdest thing. And of course, like the DVDs on the table had nothing to do with what they asked me for, but it was the most weirdest thing in the world. And they said, "Do I have a DVD of two clowns having sex, wearing dildos, like wearing strap-ons, having sex with each other?"
That's very oddly specific. Like that sounds like custom
Yeah,
specific.
like but this is before only like this is like what's it? This is like 2010. I'm like, what? Like that sat with me. I'm like, what is going on here? Yeah, like what? Like I don't have that here, but that's different. Okay.
I have a story to tell you, and it's funny because I think this particular fan follows a lot of Asian creators. So if you ask any Asian woman creator that has done it, it's probably from the same fan. I had a fan tell me once, he was like, hey, can you do this custom? And I'm like, okay, yeah, sure. What is it? He's like, I want you to turn into the She-Hulk. And I'm like, oh, okay, that's new. He's like, don't worry, I got the comic panel that I want you to reenact. Also when you turn to the She-Hulk, like you don't have to turn green, like you don't have to paint yourself green. You don't have to rip out your shirt either. You can actually just take it off. And I just want you to turn into the She-Hulk. And I'm like, okay, I'll try it. But here's the thing though, since I didn't have to paint myself green, and because I didn't have to rip my shirt off, like every time I do the reenactment, it kills people. So like literally I'm like sitting like this, right? And I'm like shaking my hands. I'm like, oh my god, I'm turning to the She-Hulk. Oh my god, it's starting to hurt. And like, I start transforming, right? And then like I take off I'm like, oh my god, it hurts. And I'm like, oh literally how it went. Like I'd be like, oh my god, where did she Hulk? Okay, time to take off my shirt. Fold it down, and then that's literally how it went. That was one of the best. Actually, see, I tell that story and I have another one, but I think about that one a lot.
Oh my god. Not King Chain, but that's different.
Hey. Okay, so see, that one was funny. I mean, I've had other female creators being like, yeah, he asked me to turn into a werewolf. I had a creator that was like, oh yeah, he wanted me to turn into a donkey. And like I don't know if you know that scene from like Pinocchio where like the kids turn into donkeys because they think
Oh
they
Yeah.
have fits. Yeah, so like she had to recreate that scene where she's like she's turning into a donkey. She's like, "Oh my god, I'm a donkey," and like starts like sounding like a donkey. like we haw, like you know what I mean. So like, like those type of customs, like I just sit there and I'm like, man, I made bank by turning into the She-Hulk. How am I gonna explain this at dinner, bro? Like
Yeah,
I,
that's
I have other stories too. I mean, I think the next one's not. I mean, it's still pretty bad, but it's more like it stems from a very common kink. So I'm like, okay, it's not as bad.
no, because like the thing is like again, like I don't kink shame anymore because I know people are into a lot of weird things, and it's different because like if you've never heard of it and then someone explains what they're into, it's kind of like what? Wait, what? Okay,
Yeah,
let's do this.
yeah, like for me personally, I feel it's kind of like explaining your kink is kind of like explaining the like a joke. Not saying like kinks are jokes, right? But like when you explain a joke, it kind of ruins the essence of the joke or like the laughter and the joy of a joke. So like I feel like it's the same thing with like a kink. Like when you have to explain a kink, you kind of it's already kind of the assumption that like, oh, you're not gonna understand. So here's me explaining it to you. It's probably not gonna help, but here you go, information.
Okay, yeah, but that's what I'm saying. Like, because I know I talk about my foot phobia, and that's a big kink for a lot of people. Like this person over here, and yeah, and that's one thing I just.
Okay. Wow. Okay. He's just
I
gonna put
mean,
me out there like that.
you've said it.
All right.
You've said it multiple times on the
I
podcast.
Hey, there is
just
scientific basis behind feet.
lots of judgment there,
I'm
Rockstar.
not
Everybody
judging. I
wants
am
to
not judging. I
judge.
say you're into it. You're into feet, and I'm scared of feet.
It's because you have ugly feet.
I would say yeah, my feet are very ugly, but that's not why
Hobbits
I don't.
are hobbits.
No, I believe hobbits got better feet than I do,
You
but that's
might be
not
right.
why my feet are. I thought I stabbed somebody yesterday with my
You
foot.
can walk over hot coals with them feet.
I was walking. I was like when I was in Mole, Ghana, Africa. I was just walking everywhere barefoot.
Ooh.
I
So,
mean,
Hey, man.
look, I actually don't judge feet at all because I think like there's a region in your brain where like the stimulation of feet is right next to like sexual stimulation. So like they usually happen like adjacent to each other. So something like that. So I'm like, oh, that makes a lot of sense. Also, I've had foot things done. It's not it's not like arousing to me, but it's very like therapeutic. Like a massage, like ooh, like self-care.
I'm gonna tell you this. So
Mm.
3 days ago, I was on a Skype call with people, and I was showing them one of the photo shoots I did with them, and we were going through each picture that I sent them, whatever. And it's a picture of that shows their feet. And they chimed in. They said, "I remember when you took that picture. You said, you said I want to take a picture of your feet for your fans, but you said you weren't going to look down. You were just going to point it down toward my feet and then hope it looks good because you don't like looking." I couldn't look. I just pointed it toward where I knew her feet were. Took the picture, took a few pictures, and said, "I hope that looks good." And then I didn't look at the picture until I had to edit it, and I always skip over that picture when we had to talk about future things that she wants. But yeah, I yeah can't do.
Huh. Okay. So where does the fear come from?
I
Because
have no idea.
like
I I,
initially,
I have three
I was
fears
like,
in my life.
okay, tell me.
I have three phobias.
Hmm.
Fear of the dark, fear of death, and fear of feet. And that's part of phobia. I never understood what like like you literally just cringe up if someone like touches me with their foot or someone touches my feet. Like I literally when I go to a massage part like whatever get a massage, I tell the masseuse if you touch my feet, you are not going to get a tip.
Oh wow.
Like
Huh.
I said you can stop at my hamstring. If you go lower than that, you're not getting anything for a tip. And I
You
will
say
leave
your hamstrings?
like my the thing like right where you know where the sock like if you were in like thigh high
Your
socks
calves.
calves. So don't go past my calf at all. Like don't go past that. If you do, you're not getting anything. I demonstrate them. I said don't go past here. Do not go past there. You're not getting anything if you touch past that, and I will leave a bad review.
Oh wow. I
It makes
mean,
me feel so uncomfortable. So
because like for me personally, I was like, oh, maybe you have the phobia because like, feet are dirty. When I think about feet, I think about kicking, and I'm like, that sounds painful. But like, I mean, I will say too, like, I mean, I think hands are prettier than feet.
yeah, man, like hands are cool.
Like hands are great.
Yeah.
Like hands are cool. Like they're, like hands are
But
great.
it's also to the point where I don't like I literally do not like wearing socks. I don't like anything touching my feet either. Like usually like if you see my desk right here, it's a rail. Like sometimes I put my foot over the rails and my feet aren't touching the floor because I can feel the floor on my foot and it unconsciously bothers me. Like you literally have to, block it in my head that's going. Because that's why I hate wearing shoes or socks or anything. I hate anything touching my foot, so it's bad. But I consciously try to block it out of my head if I'm wearing socks or shoes or if I have to walk on the floor.
Yeah, I was about to ask. I was like, oh, like I wonder how it feels to like walk like with shoes on. Like, oh
Yeah,
man.
I've made a conscious in my brain to block it out. It's one of the things that I constantly do, like just blare it out.
Wow.
Like
Is it
I
exhausting? If that's okay for me to
no,
ask?
no, because it's one of the things I have to do like daily. Like even like the way I speak, I had this speech therapy, so I didn't speak so low. It's just a few like one of the conscious things that I do daily, and that's why I really hate like when I have to clip my nails because that is a traumatic experience every time.
Mm.
Because as I said yesterday, I thought I stabbed somebody with my toenail like last night. So I felt my foot hit theirs, and I'm like, did I just stab you? Because
Oh
I
no.
felt my nail hit their skin, and I'm like, then
Oh
I
no.
like I shivered for a second, then I pulled my foot all the way back. So and
Okay.
that was about 11 o'clock this last night.
I mean, hey, I totally feel you on like stabbing people with your feet. That's a really weird thing to say without context. Because like personally for me, okay, I don't bite my nails, but I peel my nails because I get anxious pretty often. I just kind of like do it like while I'm not thinking. And
Mhm.
like there are times where like I peel like my pinky toes and like it's like uneven and sometimes it gets kind of pointy like a cat claw and I'm like, "Oh my God, if I knock into somebody with this will hurt." Or
Mhm.
sometimes I sit cross-legged and I like knock my like pinky into my thigh or something. I'm like, oh, pain. And so like I totally feel you about the fear of stabbing someone with your foot.
Well, it's just because like I don't like my nails because I gotta hold my foot while I do it.
Yeah. I mean, personally for me, I kind of get fascinated with like cutting my nails because I'm like, ooh, my skin is so fascinating. I just sit there and look at my nails
Well,
for
like
like hours.
I can do fingers, but
Mm-hmm.
like when it comes to toes, it's like and I think I'm more creeped out by the toes than I am by the full foot. But the toes like are the worst part of the entire thing. And I think CW has mentioned before somewhere some other time like if I met a girl with no feet, would I be okay with that? And I'm like, yes, yes. Like I don't care if she had like the fake feet thingies. and she take it perfect.
Oh, you know what that means? You're not into footsies.
No,
Oh no.
I've said on here before, like someone has put their foot on on him, like during an encounter, and it just went down like no.
Wow.
It was ready, and then the foot rubbed against it, and it was like, no, I'm out, I'm done. No, you gotta go.
Oh wow. You know what? You're the first person I know who has a foot phobia.
Yeah,
It's very interesting to hear all of it, really, because like I know a person with like a bug phobia. I personally don't like squiggly things, so like worms. I mean, I'm trying to get over snakes, but like worms or like anything squiggly.
yeah.
If I was eating spaghetti and I started to see it move, I would freak out.
Oh wow, I can't even eat spaghetti. I don't like spaghetti, but
Yeah.
see, the thing is, like, I know bugs on, but I think those three things I said earlier are the only things that actually installs fear in me.
Mm.
And I think I said on the podcast before, like, if you handcuff me and you want to get information out of me and you just want me to talk, you can torture me all you want to, it doesn't bother me. But if you touch me with your foot, you're gonna get all the information you want.
Would you give information if someone started tickling
Yep.
your feet? Okay. Okay. Noted
Yeah.
for something else in the future.
Don't
I'm
try to
harmless.
kidnap me and try to
No, I'm harmless. I'm weak. Like I'm the type of person where like if I punch somebody, the recoil will hurt me more than the punch itself. It'd be like, ah, you hurt me because of your cheek. Like I'm that type of person.
But yeah, like it goes deep. That's really bad. So we
Yeah.
did actually go over. I didn't realize we were
Oh
on
sure.
for so long. Yeah.
Oh, oh, I don't know if I should be sorry. Should I
No,
be
no,
like,
you were fantastic, and that's why we went over because I wasn't paying attention, and I looked down. I'm like, oh my god, it is overtime. But no, you are fantastic. You are a gem. You are fun, and I knew this was going to be very interesting. That we went about doing this. So, real quick, before we do end, is there anything that you want to tell your fans to look forward to, like that they should like say, hey, I just went out and went to blah blah. We did a whole bunch of pictures in the snow. Look out for that. Or you got something you want your fans to look forward to really quick, and then tell everybody where they can find you, where they can support you, where they can buy BUY your content and everything else.
okay, so recently I did a collab like literally like last week. If you like creators like Lola Valentine, Hates Trixie, Jasmine T, Peachy Kite, I know. We all did a video together. It's really good. I think it's already on my site anyway, so like if you sub, you're probably gonna like, have a chance to see it.
I've seen the TikTok.
Oh yeah. Oh my TikToks. Fortunately, I have my good TikToks back. My TikTok account is not Uwu Tofu, so it's NOTUWUTOFU. I post a lot of stupid things on there. You will see me attempt to dance very stupidly on the app because that's the only way to get views. I also have an OnlyFans. It is Uwu Tofu, UWUTOFU. You can sub to talk to me every day. I post something at least once every other day, and I love posting bundles and stuff. So, if you're a girl like me and you need to be a little bit thrifty, I got you. I also have an Instagram called Uwu I'm a Tofu. I post like my safer things for there. Like, maybe you can show your mom my Instagram. I recommend no. But yeah, those are my socials.
There's one more one you can say. You play video games at.
Oh shit! You're right. Okay, so it's funny because I have a goal for that one. I do have a Twitch. It's Uwu Tofu with two U's. It's UWUTOFUU. I primarily play League of Legends. I've been playing that stupid game since 2012, so yeah. I also play Phasmophobia. I have two roommates that are really good at the game. I play with them. I am now starting to play on Nightmare, which is the hardest level, the hardest difficulty in that game. So, I'm a little sweaty. I also play TFT and whatever other games come to mind. I do think that Octopath Traveler 2 is coming out on the 24th. I do want to buy that game and stream it because I love JRPGs too. So yeah,
I have a love-hate relationship with TFT right now.
me too. Oh
I
yeah, me
get I
too.
get I get to 80%, 80%, 80 LP, about to go up the next level, and then all of a sudden I get eighth place 4 times in a row.
Yeah. Hmm.
F
Oh
that
yeah.
gang right now. That
Oh
was
yeah.
that was my last night. I'm sorry. I'm still, bitter. Um yeah.
I mean,
And CW, where can they find you really quick, sir?
CC Fitness LA on pretty much all social media platforms.
Okay, if you want to find us, we are the Burbank Misfits on Instagram, Burbank Misfits on Facebook, and on the Twitter. And real quick, you can find me at Rawstar, RAWSDARR, on Instagram and on the Twitter. Again, Tofu, you are a joy, you are a gem, you are a very fantastic person. And I really enjoyed this conversation because this is the first time we really came back and just talked. And you're fun. You are very
oh,
fun. And everybody, make sure you go out there and support her in every way. We will see you all next week. And stay great, stay amazing, and be great.